Hey y'all, welcome back to SB Designs. In today's video, I'm going to be making a piece of jewelry from the sweater weather collection for the Bargain Bead Box subscription from September of 25, I believe. They recently had a Christmas in July sale on their website, and when I was getting some items to kind of help with my jewelry stash, especially with like findings and things like that, I decided to purchase the sweater weather box because they still had some of the materials available. So I've just been playing around with the collection. It's got a really beautiful color palette, and I've designed this necklace here. I've already strung on the first part of the necklace, the first side, and I'm pretty happy with the order that the beads and the elements like the bead cap and the spacers are in. And so I'm gonna go ahead and string on the other side. And let me just share with you which pieces I'm using. So I'm using one of the toggle clasps as a pendant here in the center. It's so beautiful, and I just didn't really want to use it in the back and hide it away in the back. So that's my focal piece. And then I'm using the petrified wood beads on either side. Crystal faceted rondelle beads in matte steel right here, and then the fancy cube bead in the light blue steel. And then I'm doing the matte gray. That's the faceted bicon bead in opaque gray. And then this one here is the glass barrel bead in dark coral red, mahogany obsidian, the little bead. And then I have more of the petrified wood. And the petrified wood has a variety of colors in it. So I'm doing like the lighter, more taupey colors right here next to the pendant, and then some of the darker colors further on. So that's the petrified wood. And then this right here is for my own stash, and I can't remember what gemstone that is. It has a light purple color, but I can't remember what it is. And then this is another of the obsidian, more of the light steel blue fancy cube. The bronzite, that's the bronzite. And then another one of the rondelle matte steel blue. And then of course little spacers in the middle. And then what I've also done, because I'm not sure how well this clasp, using it as a pendant, is going to be on the beading wire. I have a crimp bead, or a crimp tube actually, that's underneath, like in the hole of the pendant, to hopefully help the wire, like help protect the wire. But I don't know, we'll see how it wears. But it's like the perfect size to fill the hole, but not go into the other bead. So we're just gonna go ahead and string the rest of these on here. What I'm showing here are the earrings that I designed to go along with this necklace. I used some large jump rings because I really wanted to echo the, you know, that little circle pendant. It's a toggle, but I'm using it as a pendant. Wanted to bring that into the earrings, and I really love the way this portion here look looked. I also like the dark red coral bead, but it was just too much red. I just wanted the red to be the tiniest little bit of an accent, a little pop, a little bit of interest, and I wanted to lean into more of the cozy blues and kind of the taupey colors that are in the collection. All right, what I was trying to decide is, do I want to continue beading up the side of the necklace, or do I want to make that chain? And I haven't fully decided just yet. I'm thinking chain, I'm kind of leaning that way. Hey y'all, Editing Sherry here. I refer to one of the beads as a jasper, and it's actually an agate. I was getting confused because usually, at least from my experience, the agates are more see-through and the jasper is opaque. I think they're part of the same family of stones, but anyway, the stone that's on the left-hand side of the necklace that we're looking at right now is actually an agate, not a jasper. So sorry about that. I wonder if it would be nice to add in a little bit of wood in there. Save this jasper, but maybe incorporate some wood. That would be a really fun way, I think, to tie it all in together. Now I have actually three shades of the wood from a mix of beads that I picked up at Hobby Lobby a couple weeks ago. This medium tone I think is pretty, and we've got cube ones as well. That might be a nice little way to kind of, because you can't really tell that these are cubes because of the way they sparkle. And then these beads here, although they're round, they have a kind of a boxy feel. So that might be a fun way to kind of bring in the cube. Now, would I want to use the medium tone or a deeper tone? Let me just see here. Ooh, you know what? The deeper tone, I was originally thinking the medium tone. The lighter tone is here. Light creamy color. I think that's a little too light. You know what? Let me see what it looks like using some of those wood beads. That might be a fun way to extend the necklace, not have to use so much chain, but still preserve my gemstones, my semi-precious gemstones. I like to keep those in an area where I'm gonna see them because I want to, be able to appreciate them, and I don't really want them on the back of my neck. I'm kind of liking the wood. This deeper tone also has like a little bit of a red undertone. It looks like a mahogany wood finish, which we're using mahogany obsidian. And we've got the red tones in that bead right there. So, that might be a fun way to incorporate it. I don't know though. I'm not a huge fan of like just stopping so close to the front of my, on my neck, so low on my neck, and then just having like no interest. So I might need to do a little something different. I for sure don't want my beads to go flying off again. Let me put those little doodle things on there. Let's see what the lighter tone looks like, and I'm going to use the round beads now on here. I'll see what I think about having the wood elements. Let's do a fourth bead so I can have 4 and 4. I'm gonna hold it up just a little, see what they look like, and determine if I want to keep those or not. You know what? I like the look of the wood. I think that both wood tones look really pretty. I think that I might go with the lighter. I don't know. I'm conflicted. The reason why I was thinking the lighter one is because it looks very similar to the jasper. You know, it's the same tone, like color family, as the jasper. It does lighten the overall feel of the necklace a little bit, but I think that the dark one, just because it looks like a mahogany finish, I'm probably thinking too hard about it, which I tend to do. It's a trait of mine that I'm not necessarily fond of or discouraged by. Okay, I think I'm gonna do the lighter tone. I think that it helps the deeper colors stand out a little better than the deeper wood tone. What I want to see now though is if I want to use the cubed beads or if I want to do the round beads. Put 4 on for a nice comparison. I think I want to do the cube. Yeah, I'm gonna do the cube. And now I still may not go all the way up the chain or beading wire. I don't know the right terms, you guys. I don't think I'm gonna go all the way up. I think I still want to have some chain in here. Because I may also do here, you know, like attach it to that large circle jump ring and then some chain. I might do that, and if I do that, I probably will go down to 3. I don't know why, but I really enjoy doing 3s, or well, odd numbers in general. Like I'll do 3, or maybe I'll add 1 more and do 5. There's just something about odd numbers, unless I'm pairing things up. So like in this case, obviously I want to have like 2 sides if I'm keeping things symmetrical. But when I'm doing a grouping, I tend to lean toward groups of 3. Is that a thing? Or is that just a me thing? I think I like the interest, the focal interest that having the wood brings to the necklace. I think I want to do something a little bit more before I finish with the chain, but I'm not 100% sure yet. So you're seeing a little bit again of the design process that I go through. What I'm going to do is set out enough of the square beads to do a grouping of 5. And then I'm going to pack away the wood beads. Yeah, see, I think the wood is beautiful. I'm gonna see what it's like if I just do my signature 3. And then if I bring in, because I was like, do I do another bronzite? I think that's a little too heavy. It's like too heavy. The bronzite is beautiful, but it's very dark and it is heavy. It's very weighted. I would have loved to have done something like this, but I'm really struggling right now with the way these beads, with where the hole is. So I got to figure out how to get my, you know, my little flower detail, because I was originally going to do something like that, but I just couldn't get the whole, anyway, I couldn't get it figured out because it would go on like this, and I for sure don't like that. I want to be able to see the flower, so I still got to work on that. That's just a little too decorative, a little too ornate for this, because there's a lot going on here. I don't want to bring in the red again because I only want the focal here. I do not want to draw the eye up. Well, I do. I want to draw the eye up with texture and interest, but not with color. That's a little too much. I kind of want another bronze element here. Now, the only bronze elements, well, we got a lot of bronze, like decorative pieces, but not what I'm wanting, you know. And then we have the daisy spacers and the bead caps, but again, I don't want that for there. Something like this. Now, this is from my own stash, but see, that's really pretty. I have this one here as well. It's oval in shape, and it's kind of got some little dots, it almost looks like little polka dots. I don't think the oval is clashing with the circles. This one here, I think, ties in well. Let's see what it's like if I just do the wood bead and then this, and then finish off with additional wood beads. I don't care for that. That's another bead from my stash. Maybe. So here, I've just put it up to my neck. I like it here. And yeah, I want the necklace to be, you know, my 9 to 11. So that being said, now I've just got to figure out how I want to end it. Okay, let me go ahead and put the 5, because I know for sure I want either 3 or 5. I do not want 4. I'm going to put my 3 on the other side. Along with the little bit of bronze accent. That needs more, so let's try a daisy spacer and then that little spacer. It's like a little lentil, kind of. Okay, that's a little better. I like that it feels, to me, it feels a little more finished. I do this a lot, where I do a spacer, like a daisy spacer, and then a different bead to like cap it off. Especially because I do think I am going to do that where I attach the large jump ring on there. But I may just do that instead. I think I prefer the large jump ring directly on top of the daisy spacer, instead of like the daisy spacer, this other thing, and then the jump ring. Because when I finish like to do this part here, I am going to be using these little clamp connectors. I think that's what these are called, or clam covers or something. So that's actually going to sit here, and then the jump ring attaches there. So I might take that other spacer away and use that little clam cover thing as the finishing brass element there. I think I prefer that, actually. And then into the chain. Now, do I want it to be the 3 or the 5? I think the 3. I just, for some reason, I'm drawn to 3s. Get another little clam connector thing. Some of the crimp beads. Check one last thing here. Yeah, I think I just want this daisy spacer. Okay, the only thing now that's standing out to me is I still want like a little something in between here. I need something else here. I don't like this one was okay as a finishing when it was the finishing. You see how I've got the spacer and then like something to finish it? I like that. But now having that there, it feels unresolved. Am I thinking too hard about this? I don't know. I go until the design feels the way I want it to feel. I'm just gonna play around here a little bit with these beads, and then you'll see what I mean by how I just like go back and forth until it just feels right. Until it feels the way it should. I don't know why, but adding that little bit of obsidian right there to me was like what it needed. It just needed the tiniest little something. I can't explain it. It's just, yeah, it just needed a little break. I don't know why. I think I have a theory. But I don't know why I needed a break between this bead and this bead. I think maybe they were too similar in size, that it just felt unresolved. Like I needed something and then something. So I don't know. I'm not gonna try to, overly analyze it or anything like that. It's just, I just needed something extra. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna string on my little clam piece here. And then a crimp tube. I'm gonna bring that down far enough to where I can wrap that easily around my index finger, and I'm gonna feed the end of the beading wire back up through the tube. And then I'm going to pull that little, like the rest of the wire, pull those two pieces of the wire, and now it's kind of looped around on the inside of that crimp bead, or tube actually. I'm just gonna give it a little tug, and then I'm gonna smash it. Just gonna make sure that it's closed, the tube is closed, and then I'm gonna slide my little clam cover thing down, and I'm just gonna pull on the end to make sure it's not sliding or slipping. And that's a very secure connection, or ending I should say. It's the most secure end I've ever done, and I actually learned about doing the little loop thing from watching Bead Bead Box videos, because I saw the Bargain Bead Box lady, Lauren I think is her name. I saw her doing that, and then I also saw Campbell Creations doing it and talking about how it's a really secure closure. And I actually have a lot of necklaces that are in this state, right, where I've designed it, but it's just on its beading wire, and I've knotted the end of the wire because I didn't know how to finish it. All of my attempts to finish the necklace were resulting in the little covers coming off and like slipping off, and so I'm really excited that I learned about looping the wire around the crimp tube, because now I have a way to finish all my other jewelry. Okay, and then I know you want to, curl the end of your piece a little bit, because you want to have a little bit of movement in your piece. You don't want to have your beads so close together that they don't allow for any movement. And then on the second clam cover, I'm going to open that to where it's completely flat. Okay, and then I'm going to put that on the wire. Okay, and then you put your little tube on. And then same thing, you want to give yourself enough room, like wiggle room, to like get your wire up and into the tube again. But I don't want to have so much excess, because I'd like to use, this little bit of extra wire here. I mean, that could be either another, like accent element on a necklace, or it could be a bracelet, right? So anyway, but I do want to give myself plenty to work with and to like loop around. Now at this point, what I want to do is I'm going to hold on to my little tube, and I'm going to push it. I'm going to pull the piece of the wire that's on top, not the free end, the tail, but the part of the wire that's on top. And I'm going to push my little tube way down deep inside of the clam cover. And I don't have nails to like hold this stuff in place, but I'm gonna push that down with the edge of my little pliers here, and then I'm gonna pull the tail. Oops. I let it go too soon, but you want to push that down inside of the clam cover. And you want that to be down inside because you don't want to have too much wiggle room in your beads. Especially since like this part of the necklace is actually pretty close to like my collarbone. I don't want to have too much of the bead wire showing. It keeps slipping because I don't have any nails to hold it in place. Let's see if I can get it down in there. There we go. Yeah. And then, you know, make that little loop. Make sure it's pulled nice and tight. And then I'm going to crimp my bead, my crimp tube. And opening that little clam all the way flat makes it to where you can actually get in there and crimp the tube. And then cut off the excess. But don't cut the little loop-de-loo that's on the outside of the tube. And then now I'm going to pull up my little clam, close that off. And there I have my necklace. All right, let's get my earrings over here to the side. Don't need those. I got these jump ring things from Amazon. I don't know who the supplier is or anything about it. Just I got them on Amazon and it was kind of like, oh, I need jump rings for jewelry making. So I got them and I've enjoyed them. I don't know how well they're gonna wear. The jewelry that I'm making from my bargain bead box collections, I'm making for my own personal use. I'm not making them with the intent of selling them. So I think it'll be a good wear test for me. Can't get this one lined up. I don't want to break it. If I break it, I lose all the supplies, you know, the wire and everything. I guess I could reuse the wire for a bracelet if I have to dismantle this necklace, but I don't want to have to do that. These large crimp jump rings will go through because I've made several necklaces already where I've finished them. With these there. Okay, see, it does go in there. Okay. That space right there, I hate that. But again, this is for my own personal use, for me to be able to do a wear test on my fabrication and to test my supplies, you know. Kind of twisted that one a little too much. That's all right. We all have to start somewhere. Practice makes perfect in all things, so I'm not that concerned. Okay, that went in a lot better, partially because the little ends of the clam were lined up better. All right. Go. I think that's really pretty. You know, it's ties in the circles. Let me get my ruler back out, and I think it was a little too tight on when I was trying to get that last crimp tube in there, I think I was a little too tight, but I have some necklaces where there's wire exposed, and I don't like that look. I don't want wire exposed. Okay, so we're right at 4.5. And I think I want to use this chain. I have a couple of bronze chain, but I think I want to use this. And I want to get us to 9 with the lobster clasp. I'm going to come in here at this link. I'm going to take this link off the main chain and attach to the large jump ring. And then I don't know any other how to make sure I have the right amount of chain unless I count the links. I'm sure there's a better way, but this is how I do it. Okay, and there you have it, my first completed piece from the September 2025 Sweater Weather collection. I think it's beautiful and I'm really looking forward to wearing it. I think I might do a bracelet, but not right now. I'm just gonna enjoy the necklace and the earrings. I think it's really beautiful. I'm very proud of myself. There are some things that I could have done better. For example, I still need to practice with using those clam things. I think what happens to me is the one where I open it all the way out, I'm bending back the little tabs as well. So I need to make sure I'm not bending those back when I'm opening the clamshell flat. And then I'm interested to see how this area here wears, because the only thing I have on that wire is a crimp tube. And I don't know, is a crimp tube gonna wear down the wire? Would this little toggle portion here, would that have worn down the wire? Also, what am I going to do with the bar portion of the toggle? You know, maybe I can incorporate this into a bracelet or something. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it can be a dangle on the bracelet. I don't know, but I just knew that this toggle clasp was too beautiful. I don't want that in the back here, you know. Now I like to, on all my pieces, I've been putting a little bauble on the back. I just think it's a really pretty finishing. It just, to me, it feels more professional to have that in there. So I just selected the bead. When I was making this design, there was a bead that for me, when I put it in, it just like, yes, this is the direction I want to go in. And that was when I added this matte bead, because I had the design done, but I was like, it's still missing something. It's like when I added the obsidian bead here, before I, ended up with this pattern, I was like, I need something else. And when I added the matte bead here, I was like, yes, that's what I needed for this necklace. And then it was a nice thing too, before I added the wood bead, it was like the perfect finishing piece to this bead. And then I realized I needed to bring in the wood to kind of tie in that jasper there. I think it'd be really fun if I did a bracelet to do something with the jasper, maybe the jasper and the wood and some of the mahogany. That might be a fun little play, because I want the bracelet to kind of, you know, coordinate with the necklace, but my bracelets never fully match the necklace. It's not like I'm repeating the pattern somewhere on the bracelet. I'm using the same beads and sometimes in a very similar pattern, but never the exact same. Because for me, what looks nice on my neck doesn't look nice on my wrist. Okay, again, I'm probably thinking way too much into this, but that's how I am. So anyway, if I decide to do a bracelet for this, I might link it in the description of this video. But for now, I'm just gonna have the necklace and the earrings. I would love to hear your feedback on what you think about the design. You know, it's this collection came out last year, but I think it's cool that, you know, you're able to pick up, you know, the box extras. I mean, they don't want to hold on to that inventory anyway, so I'm glad I was able to get my hands on this box, and I really, really love this collection. Thank you so much for watching and for spending your time with me. I hope that you enjoyed watching me put this necklace together, and I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I hope that you'll join me in my next video.